notice that delay
Mm-hmm.
with StreamYard. I don't know how long it is, but not sure why that is. I guess I don't know. I don't know why the delay needs to be there. It doesn't seem like a technology bottleneck, but
But
just maybe so things could be filtered by
to,
the
to me, it's
bots or
a third
something.
part. To me, it's because you're using a third party.
Yeah, I guess so. I
It's
guess.
connecting itself to your connection on YouTube, so just that creates a delay for your
Yeah.
information to travel.
I guess I could pop out the YouTube chat and have it floating over here somewhere, but I
No,
haven't
it's okay.
chosen to do that yet. Yeah, how was your Monday, man? You're not 100% physically, I guess, but you're still as reliable as ever. Sim's always reliable, man.
Hey, I say I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
That's right. That's right. Uh,
And I've been working. I've been getting back into work because I haven't been feeling too good lately, but slowly getting better. So
yeah,
getting back to work.
good, good. Yeah, man, I'm really excited about a lot of stuff going on. I just posted up my first per diem. I'm gonna start. It's a daily writing exercise, 30 minutes, and posted my first one up today. Uh, Anyone who wants to join me in that endeavor, I'd love to have other people doing this with me. But irregardless, I'm going to keep doing it
Hmm.
at least through the Word War 1 event, and probably once the habit's there, I think it'll just be something I keep doing indefinitely. Um,
Yeah, I'll probably drop by.
so yeah, I'm going to be posting up daily
That's
writing,
true.
and be curious to get see what people think of that, and hopefully other people jump on board with that, because that daily watching Fragtober and all the artists engage that daily exercise, it was
Hmm.
so cool to see it, and I saw people improve during the course of a single month. They got better at their craft, and it's like I got to be doing this daily. If I want to get to that place where I used to
Hmm.
be as a writer, I've got to be doing that every day.
That'd be a few minutes just writing. Yeah,
Yeah,
writing a line or two.
yeah. I'm committing to 30 minutes a day. If all you have is 50, whatever you got, what you
Hmm.
can do it. Um, I'm doing it in 30-minute chunks. I think that's a reasonable commitment. And this is about. And I'm not going to use that time to work on any projects or existing stuff. It's just a pure free flow writing exercise, whatever comes to mind. So
Dave's asking, how did you start it? Choose a title and then just saw what came out? No, it's the other way around.
yeah,
But
I,
to
I
me,
always choose
actually,
the title last. Yeah, I
like, or it comes in midway while you're writing. You're gonna go like, huh,
exactly.
I
Yeah,
could call it this.
I just write that first sentence and let it
Hmm.
flow. Hopefully, some ideas start filtering through, and just run with it. So this was the first one
That's the same.
posted up.
It's
So
similar to what happened with me with Blood Hunt. It was called a Dead in Blood the first time I was working on it because I thought it was like relevant to all I was doing. But when I started like really fleshing out the sequels, what I had the general idea,
yeah,
I was looking for a different title and I was in Blood Moon, this that, and I was talking with my bro Dave. Dave's like, what about Blood Hunt? You huh?
it's such a
Kind of
good.
fucking
Yeah, it's
works.
like it's so
Because yeah, it
yeah.
just covers everything. Like you just
Yep.
like you put it there. Like, yeah, but I think it sounds corny. He goes, no, it just fucking works. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you know the entire idea of what I have to in mind a bit in there, it's just suiting. Because the principle is he wants somebody's blood and they want his blood. So blood hunt just kind of.
Yeah, dude, it works so well. It just seems
Hmm.
like one of those like obvious. How is this
Hmm.
not a big
Yeah,
thing
that's.
already? I love those are the best titles. When you hear them, you're like, oh shit, somebody just tapped into gold. Yeah, Blood Hunt is kind of like that. I remember when 30 Days of Night hit, it was one of those like, dude, how has nobody tapped into this concept of the month long night period for vampires? It's so
Hmm.
obvious, obvious
And
gold mine.
and when I get to number two, like in a year or something, because there's a purpose why I'm waiting a year or two for it. But you will understand the entire purpose of the title.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, dude, I look forward to it. It was a really fun ride. Issue 1 was so fun. And yeah, I look forward to that. Um, I saw this. This is video game related, but I thought this was pretty funny.
Mm.
The uh, the new Marvel's Avengers game, $48 million loss for Square Enix, and of course, they just had to run with that. What's that character? They made the
Uh,
lead Camilla Khan or whatever, the one with the giant fist thing,
yeah, I just can't
the
remember
giant
what's her
fist,
name.
the power of the giant fist
Yeah.
or whatever. They ran with that character as kind of the focal point of the game, and this is what happens. This is what happens.
Yeah. The
Forty-eight
character.
million dollar loss.
You mean the character that was drawn to look like and be the exactly copy of the creator, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She looks exactly like that. Don't you think it's weird? Like when you see those new characters, they always end up looking exactly like those female creators. It's kind of weird.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
J Money says
prettier,
it's
but
way past 48 million. I have no doubt. I mean, they never really they hide so much of that the money lost in that. Especially with the movies, man, it's ridiculous. We all know
yeah.
how much money some of these things have lost. They never disclose it really, and it
And
probably
stop
doesn't matter anyway. It's all just money laundering, I think, at a certain point.
and stop designing all your costume to be easy for cosplayers to do with the regular clothes. Just freaking design them, give them a goddamn challenge.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously, I do. Talking in terms of comics, an overcomplicated outfit of a character that's always going to be on majority of the pages, that can create a problem. But it's everything within reason.
Hmm.
But these are things that you do have to think about.
I'm
But when
sorry.
you're
My
thinking
point
about
is
the cosplay component, fuck off.
no. That my point is the fact that if you look at those Marvel, all those redesigned this costumes, looks like it's a bunch of girls that just stood in front of a thrift shop and go, "Let's come up with new designs."
Right? Yeah, yeah, really sad.
So everybody can easily imagine that and you're like, "Ah, fuck."
Yeah, I didn't play the new Avengers game, so I can't speak to it. From what I've heard, there's a lot of problems with it.
Hmm.
But the moment, I mean, people just knew the moment they revealed that the character was going to be the lead. I think people just understood right away that it's gonna bring the whole thing down, and it did. And they lost sight of the basics, the fundamentals of what makes a game great and replayable and keeps an audience. It's so, and it's amazing how often this happens, where the basics, the absolute fundamental basics of something, is lost sight of by the creators.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the premise of the topic
Uh,
today.
and me, I don't understand what's the idea of coming in and trying to introduce maybe a certain demographic, right, of character,
Hmm.
and make it lame and shitty so people are not happy with it. You could just why don't you just come in and make them epic?
Exactly.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and they know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being foolish here, but they know damn well what people want. They know
And
what is wanted.
right
Why
now,
they
right now,
why
I
they
think
refuse to do it and deliver it to
they're
people
t-
is
they're turning all
insane.
the characters into blanks.
Mm, yeah,
Blank 1 does this, Blank 2 does this. How does Blank 3 react to Blank 1 and 2 doing this?
yeah. There is this. The image on the thumbnail is from it's artwork from a game called Dead Nation, and this thing came out. I think it was the PS3. This was I think in 2010 or so. It's a 10-year-old game,
That's cool.
and tons of people hundreds of thousands of people are still playing this game.
Never
And
heard of it.
the reason is the scoring system. It's brilliant. Like
Oh yeah?
my lady still plays this game, and she's like hunting like top spots on the leaderboards, right? That's why it's fun, because the scoring system is so great, with the use of multipliers, and it really engages people to compete for the highest scores. So people keep playing to take those top spots. So fundamental to video games is a rich scoring system, and it's amazing to me how few games get it right. And it's the 101 thing of a video game is scoring system. To me, that's what it should be
Detonation.
about.
Okay.
And but to me, it's a systemic kind of failure that creators often forget to cover the basics first because they have this grandiose ambition about something, and they forget if you don't do the basics well, you're not going to have an audience.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you created Blood Hunt and didn't deliver the core fundamentals of what people want from a vampire book,
Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna. You're not gonna have an audience for it,
But
right?
that's why I went with a full 64 page from the head and the head start because I'm like it's not with a 20 pager that I could like sell you a new vampire type of story. But even with the 64 I went to 72.
Right.
But I think I did pretty much succeed. That's why I try to stay with that idea of a model,
Hmm.
60 page arc type of book, because you can actually sell more of a story, and
Hmm.
especially if you've practiced the art of short story,
Right.
being able to tell a story in dude 60 page. I could tell you a full year of story for Marvel in a 60 pager.
Oh yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You
12
have to
issue
be
and
able
60
to.
page. Yeah.
Yeah, comic book storytellers have to be hyper efficient in delivering a lot of information in as few pages as possible. It's essential. And I've again like with this per diem, um, I think that's part of the fun of writing really short
Mm-hmm.
pieces is like how much world building can you pack into a very small piece of writing. And it's like this first per diem, there's a whole world just waiting is to be fleshed out in this little piece that I spent less than 30 minutes working up. And it's like it's just so it's really fun to do that. But scoring in video game, to me, it's just this is a
So.
universal thing. Like if you're talking about comic books,
Mm-hmm.
it's you have to understand what is the fundamental, the basics 101 thing that people are coming to that for. Why do people come to a comic book? What do you think is the number one reason that someone comes to a comic book?
Could be multiple reasons. One
Well,
is if it,
what do you think draws people to comics?
one
Number one,
one
without question.
it's like a perfect mix between all mediums that you like from storytelling. So you got visual, you got the writing, reading. So technically, it's a mix of reading a novel, reading watching a movie or an anime. So you kind of get like a mix of best of both world type of thing.
Hmm. I'd say Dave is right.
Hmm.
I'm a writer, and I know damn well that the number one draw for comics is artwork because even as a writer, that's my number one draw to comics.
Hmm.
Badass fucking cool artwork. That's why I want a comic book. If you're not
Hmm.
nailing that, if you're not delivering cool artwork to people via your comic, it probably doesn't need to exist.
Yeah, but it goes as far as saying that you could have good artwork but shitty
Of course.
storytelling and that won't work.
Of
No.
course. Of course, there's
Hmm.
always exceptions to everything. Just like in video games, you might have a game that has horrendous or non-existent scoring system,
Hmm.
and it's still a great game. I'm not saying that they're mutually exclusive,
No.
but if you want, there's a fundamental basics to most mediums that if you're not covering that basic, if you're not kicking ass in that absolute basic uh, way with that creation, it's not going to have a lasting audience. And it's my lady and I like to play video games, co-op, couch co-op games. There's not
Hmm.
that many to choose from.
No.
Um, yeah, which sucks. You think
I
it
know.
should be a much bigger fucking market, but we did
We
recently
come.
pick up Darksiders Genesis, which is it's kind of a Diablo ripoff style top-down co-op game, and
What?
it's got a lot of problems. Okay, it's fun though. Once you get your head wrapped around the system and the combat and navigation, it can be a really fun game. The problem is fucking scoring is terrible, right? Absolutely abysmal. No scoring system at all, which means the longevity of this game, it's already over. Like nobody's gonna keep playing this game. because there's no competition, right? You can't compete against other people in the world in the arenas because there's no scoring system.
Hmm.
Why would you do this? You put in all those hours, right? You got a team together. You have this great IP. Darksiders is a pretty cool franchise. I've liked the games.
Mm-hmm.
You all these hundreds and thousands of hours, all that investment, and you don't bother to create a scoring system for your game. What are you doing? Like, don't do that. Don't neglect the basics.
People don't believe in competition anymore, dude.
I don't know, man. I think they do. I know that there are people railing against competition. Everybody wants their participation awards and shit.
Yeah, but you know that if they believe that everybody should, otherwise we're bad.
Mm,
That's
right.
what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
healthy
like,
competition is good, dude.
we were
I love
we
it.
were so pumped. Like the game has these arenas, right, which has enemies coming in waves.
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, this is gonna be so fun. Like leaderboards, competing against the rest of the people in the world.
Get your check into it.
And then it's like the scoring system is like basically you get the same if you complete the fucking arena, you get the score. It's very little fluctuation in the scoring. And it's like, what is the fucking point of this?
Okay, so it's like getting a diploma in school just for showing up.
Yes. What are you doing? Game studios, what have video games always what have they been built on? Like from the old arcade days, like
Something called
scoring.
gamification.
It's fucking ridiculous. Why are you going to make a game without I'm of the belief that every game should have a scoring system. I don't care if it even doesn't even seem like relevant to the
dude.
game. There should be scoring. That's where people thrive in competitive gaming.
Yeah.
That's where people want.
That's what you know, it's when you study in gaming, video games, that's what they tell you that anything that has to do it's gamification, and gamification means out of gaming you get something out of it. So that it be a score, that it be like rewards or like loot box or stuff like that. That's what attracts people to those goddamn games. It's like you get something for busting your ass for gaming so hard.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I don't care about any of that. What I want is the bragging rights of kicking
It's the
people's
same
ass on the
principle,
leaderboard.
dude.
That's your gift right there. That's what draws. It keeps people coming back. Like I said, Dead Nation, 10-year-old game. It should just be a game that not that many people are playing anymore. The reason it is still being rocking and rolling with hundreds of thousands of people engaging it is because the scoring is so. I got it. It's one of the best scoring systems in gaming. Period. Because it has a complex multiplier system, right?
So that's what you used to do at the arcade, right? Remember the arcade?
Your multiplier keeps going up and up and up, and it's like this is for me. It's applicable to everything, whether it's comic books, films, video games. You have to understand what is the basic draw, what is the human draw to this thing, and if you're not going to deliver the basic thing to people that they want when they come to this medium, you're gonna fucking fail every time, right? And I think we forget it's so easy to get overly ambitious and forget, dude, cover the basics first. If you do the basics flawlessly, almost every time you will find success in whatever it is. Doesn't matter. It can be a game with basic graphics. That's not the point. You can throw money at something and fail miserably. We see it all the time.
Dude, just look at Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude. Such a great example. Like, flawless, basic gaming covered. Like, if you like, especially with Minecraft, if you like creating shit, building shit.
And you get an intelligent man like Scottman playing that stupid game for 8 hours.
Yeah.
I all the kids here, my bro, they all love that game. I'm just not one of those sandboxy type of game too much.
Yeah, I get that.
Very time consuming for me, and I'm like,
oh
I
man,
could be drawing right now.
Exactly, dude. I dropped some, and yeah, I would say that. I mean, video games, certainly we know not the best use of time. I don't have a whole lot of time for it, but it is because it's something I can engage with.
We see me
woman.
for the moment.
It's like, dude, yeah, every once in a while. Want to do
for the
it.
moment that game I go through when I'm like I want a game. I want to. I'm gonna take a little break in game for like an hour or two, and I go play Vermintide 2, the Warhammer thing.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
I love that freaking game. Like you go in, you can play just like 15 minutes if you want. Like you go in one, but you
yep,
bash it, shoot shit. It's freaking amazing. Love it.
yeah, dude. Those are. It's really
The
great
scores
to
and
have those games where you can just drop 15, 20, 30 minutes. You don't have to invest there. So many of the new games, it's like if you don't have 4 hours, why don't even turn it on,
mm-hmm.
right?
Like everybody was telling me, I'm like, hey, look, we just got the new WoW edition. Like we keep playing, we play every freaking day, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should try and check into. No, don't. Like why? It's too time consuming. Don't. We want to see your books done. I'm like, fair enough.
Right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's why I've always stayed away from those type of games, dude. That's why I bought Skyrim, but I've seen my kids and people play hours and hours. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's the
God
video
of
game thing
War,
is tough. It's
1 week and a half done,
yeah.
and I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, it can be a huge time suck, man. Very destructive for sure. Um, you see it.
Give me a sec.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, scoring systems in games, man. It's a pet peeve of mine. Dead Nation. I know at least some of you in the chat have played it. Brilliant, brilliant scoring system, and it's just a testament to like understand the medium you're working in, understand the basics. Like, what do people really want to get out of this? Why are they there? If you understand that, how to deliver those basics flawlessly to people, to fans, to an audience, you're gonna succeed. You're going to retain that audience for a long time, and it's amazing to me how often, especially the big companies that have almost endless resources, how often they fail at delivering the basics. They lose sight of how important it is to get the basics right for people, and it's a huge problem for video games, especially. I mean, it's not very often that you come across a game that really nails the basics. So that's it's true for anything you're doing.
Mhm.
You all good, man?
Yeah, sorry, it was my internet provider that they're coming to change my internet to a higher.
Oh, nice, dude. Cool. I hope it makes a difference. Have you been having trouble, or are you just like, more? Give me more.
I've realized that I signed up for a higher internet that I was getting because they changed their plans.
Mm-hmm.
So I just gave them shit a bit, and they upgraded me to something else. Now I'm going with something called Helix.
Nice. Nice. Good. What else?
I should be getting like 3 times the speed right now. So
Three
the
times the
bandwidth.
speed?
The bandwidth.
Shit. That's pretty nice.
Maybe that's why I come out better.
Oh, your audio? Yeah. Grant Morrison says he's been non-binary since he was 10 years old. Yeah. He also unironically wears a shirt that says evil.
Yeah.
Just thought
He
that was
also
interesting.
he also believe in magic and the word the magic and words and black and witchcraft and
Sure. Sure. If you can go along with the non-binary rationale, then obviously.
yeah, he's a witch.
Yeah.
He believed himself to be a witch before, so I'm not surprised that right now he's a non-binary.
Yeah. So since he was 10 years old, he's been non-binary. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I would love to know how at 10 years old he had context to even think about that. Because back when Grant Morrison was 10 years
right?
old, this conversation didn't exist.
It's so fucking bullshit, dude.
It did not exist. So he was just like, I'm not male or female. I knew at 10 I wasn't male or female, even though that wasn't even an idea anywhere at the time. Like, I had no access to even come up with such a concept.
Yeah, and you got in trouble because you got approached by a transgender and you refused, and then you got hashtag Me Too because you
Is that what
refused.
happened?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you mean he didn't want to get physical?
Mm-hmm.
Is what you're saying,
So yeah,
right?
he was accused, yeah, of
Right. Yeah, that's that's absurd, right? Like if you choose, I'm not really, that doesn't really do anything for me, then somehow you're a bigot.
Yep.
It's like, what are you talking about? Some people like stinky feet. I don't like stinky feet. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
turn me on. Like, are you saying,
Nope.
am I a bigot because I don't like stinky feet? Like, fuck off. These people's, like, their rationale, their logic for shit is so flawed, and I don't know how they get away with it at all anywhere.
I think it's called projectionism, projectionism, or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because at this point is like, you're horrible, you're horrible. Why? Because usually when we start looking at them, they're the one with their horrible monsters or something.
I don't know. Bristolian Dave says people who say that are so full of shit. I have no idea what he's referring to, but
Me neither. We said so
I'll
many
just,
things.
I'm full of shit. Whatever I said, I'm sure I was full of shit. Uh, Dave also says, I knew I was transgender when I was 3. Bullocks, you were eating mud and worms in the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty strange. Whatever, man. It's all going down. Like, they can play these games all they want. They're little role playing games and pretend to be fucking deer and mice and scamper through the fields. It doesn't matter. It's all Titanic shit, man. It's all going down. Enjoy it while you can, I guess. Have fun with it, because it's not going to get you anywhere. That's for sure. What else have I got in here? This bag of goodies. Not much. I was really fired up about the scoring thing, man.
You like the
I guess
scoring?
it did. I guess it kind of said everything I wanted to about it, though. Like,
Yeah,
games,
you went on a rant.
fix it, you fucks. And it seems like it would be an easy thing to fix after the fact now, too, right? I mean, just make it, dude. Darksiders, Genesis, fix your shit. Make the arena system have a scoring system so people can actually play it and have a good time. What are you doing? It's just an update away to you having a much larger player base that you could actually maybe make money from. Isn't that the goal? Stop fucking up the basics, people. God damn it. So just get that right first. If you do nothing else, cover the bases.
But
Of
what did they
just
do?
That's it.
They they don't have anything like any type of rewards. It's just like I haven't seen the game. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's yeah, and the
Because I've
rewards
played
are
Diablo and there's not that much.
right. Beyond it's got the typical, like, you're collecting stuff, buying stuff,
Yeah.
earning whatever there's multiple types of currency, shit, whatever. But to me, it's about that competition with other people who can
The
push the
scoreboard
scoring
with
the
everybody
highest,
else.
like who
Yeah.
can perfect it the best. And it's like, if you're not going to incorporate that into your gaming system,
Yeah,
why are
like
you
in
making a game? That's what games are at their core.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
competition on scoring. That's how games started. It's about the score. Who has the fucking highest score at the arcade? Like, that was the thing, and
So you would
it
say
really
like
hasn't changed.
who has killed more creatures during that dungeon type of thing, and who did this, who did that. Okay, got
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. And the key to a great scoring system is a multiplier, which is like, let's say, like in Dead Nation, the longer you don't get hit and the more zombies you kill, the higher that multiplier goes. And the multiplier jacks your score. So you could get up to thousands of multipliers if you don't get hit through an entire section of the game. That's huge. That means that there's infinite scoring possibilities. You could go from 1,000,000 to 1,000,000,000, right? But if you create a scoring system where there's only like 1,000 points variance possible, how long that's going to be exhausted in a week by people. It's done. It's boring. Nobody cares. Don't fucking do it. And again, I think it applies to so many things. Just get the basics right, people. Don't even move on to the bigger, ambitious shit until you've got the basics down. And I think it's something we could all. I need to learn from that, because I do the same thing. It's like I'm starting to do something, and I'm like I'm thinking about big picture shit before I even have the basics down, and I think that's a problem. That's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Like, yep. foundation, building a strong foundation is key to anything. To anything, you cannot build anything without a strong foundation.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And like you're saying, if to if the scoring, because it's true, like from the essence of arcade games and all the way to till now, before they started doing the mini transaction in there or microtransaction, the gamification point was that it was the scoreboard, right? Especially if you were doing competitive. It's the same thing with Vermintide. When we're done, we know who killed more Skavens and who did this and who did that, and we kind of ha. It's a
That's
fun
right.
little thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And now most of their games are built on microtransaction and getting this and getting that. So that's why I was asking before, like, is there a lot of little stupid microtransaction in that new game there, and that they decided to technically sacrifice the scoring because they just
No,
want you to go buy shit?
nope, nope.
Not
It
even.
could have easily been a really robust scoring system. It would have been great. It wasn't. The game isn't, as far as I can tell, it really isn't bogged down with microtransactions. It's not.
And
They're
that is
not really.
stupid. Yeah.
So it just doesn't. This is what I mean. You went to all this effort to put a game out there, and it clearly was set up in a way that it could have a great scoring because you have these arenas with waves of enemies, right? That's
Hmm.
the epitome of having a scoring system situation is waves of enemies, right? And they didn't fucking do it. And I'm like, you make games, right? You understand why people play games, and you didn't incorporate a scoring system. What is wrong with it? Why are you making games? I don't think you understand your audience. And this is, I feel like we're experiencing that in such a major way across all the mediums, where it doesn't seem like the people making the shit, they no longer understand why the people want the shit in the first place. Like, just, dude, you need to step back and understand what the people want first. Don't try making something until you know what they want. I guess is what I'm getting at, because it's like you went to all this effort and you failed. Like,
Yeah.
because you didn't understand what people want out of the thing in the first place. It wasn't because you're bad at what you do. They didn't make a bad game. It's a competent game, but it fails because they didn't understand the basics of why people want to play a game. And I think the same thing it applies to making a comic book. Understand why people want comic books.
Yep.
Like, first and foremost, and I don't care, writers out there, you can fucking cry me a river all you want. I'm a writer. I understand people want comics for artwork. And I'm not saying a bad story in a comic will cause people to stop buying it. I'm not saying it won't.
It's like
But
saying a movie. If the actors are shit, if the director is shit, if the visual is shit, the story could be good. Alien would be shit
exactly, right.
without any of the special
You've
effects
got to
designers and this.
if
Yeah.
if you're not bringing something to the table visually with the comic book, some kind of, either it's stylistic or some kind of hook with the artwork. It doesn't have to be the best artwork in the world, but it has to be intentional. It has to have intention and have a hook to it, right? If you aren't bringing that visual hook to your comic, then maybe you should reassess doing the comic. Because if you just think, well, I'm going to write the most brilliant story in the face of the earth, and completely neglect the visual component of the comic, I really, it's just not, I don't think you understand your audience. Again, write a fucking novel then. Don't make a comic, write a novel. Like, that's the core reason most people get into comics is because they saw a badass cover or a piece of art and they're like, I want it, I need it in my life.
And if you're saying, oh, it's about comics, it's not about novels. Novels won't get funded. Yeah, Red said the same thing once. Look at his book.
Dude, I'm so stoked about his project. Sunsworn is so badass, and
Yep.
yeah, I can't wait.
We all
to
told
read
him,
that.
like, dude, do a visual companion, do something that's visual with it, like. And you went, yeah, and bingo.
Yeah.
He did great. I think he passed like 13. He was close to 15K, I think.
Dude, absolutely. He made a point.
Yeah.
Big time with that, and I hope more.
And now he's producing a comic book based on it.
Sure. Blue Teddy says art has to be good for people to buy the first book. Writing has to be good for them to buy the second. Agreed. That's a big. It is. I do think a comic book reader, someone who enjoys the medium, would continue buying a comic with art that they adored, loved, even if the story was bad. I do think they would. Now, I don't think if you reverse that would be true. I don't think a lot of comic book readers would continue buying a comic that had art they hated, didn't like at all, even if the story was good. I don't think they'd keep buying it. And that, I'm not saying there aren't exceptions. I'm just saying the overall. So if you're going to make comics, understand
it's
cool
like saying,
artwork is the base. If you're not getting the basics down, badass artwork in a comic, don't do it. If you're making a video game and you don't have a robust, awesome scoring system planned for it, maybe rethink that. Just fucking rethink it. That's what I'm saying. Dave says there's a reason pre-owned game stores are full of Last of Us 2. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. They didn't understand maybe they did understand what their core audience wanted. They just chose not to deliver it. And this is the price you pay, right?
This was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
They killed. Dude, I loved the first one. I didn't even touch the second one. I was a big fan. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good game. I mean, I
But the
thought
thing
it was
is,
little overly praised. Like,
I have friends that work on them, right? So somebody gave me a heads up, going, "You're not gonna want to check it." Okay, there's this, and he's getting killed. I'm like, oh. And somebody told me that the next God of War, well, you're gonna find out that he's gay.
You are just shitting me, right?
Nope.
Pretty hard to have a son being gay, yeah?
Yeah, but he's adopted, right?
I actually don't know the whole story on that. I don't know the whole story on that. I wasn't huge into God of War. I did play the most recent one, which was pretty cool.
They want to make him bisexual or something, so he's gonna have a gay lover. Yeah.
So fucking dumb.
That's what I was told. I'm like, no, seriously. He goes, yeah, hopefully it won't go through.
Well, and that'll be the end. Once the moment a studio, a company, an individual forgets why their audience wanted their product, once they lose sight of that, it's over. It will end. It will crash and burn. Period.
To be honest, the last God of War, I love the freaking gameplay in it. Did not like the story so much, but the gameplay, the reward, the feel of it, the fact that you can switch from one weapon to the other, all those little fucking things made that game amazing. I love the goddamn gameplay, the fighting style and everything. The story, not so much. I do like the little aspect of father and son that there's there, but there's some stuff that I'm like, what?
Agreed, dude. Video game. Let's be real here. I mean, video game storytelling. Come on, most of it's embarrassingly bad. Like this Darksiders game, embarrassing. Just filled to the brim with formulaic, obvious, unoriginal tropes over and over and over again. It's not. Diablo was even worse. The latest Diablo game was an insult to intelligence on the storytelling front. Terrible. I don't know why video games have such bad writing. I really don't. And it's gotten a little better. It's gotten a little better over the years, but still, nobody's going to video games for great stories.
But dude, before
don't lie. Even if you say that that's the case, that people are going to video games for a great story, I can't. I gotta call you out on bullshit. Like it's not there.
Yeah. Q*bert was such a great story, right? Mario Brothers and Crash Bandicoot, right? Great story. It's amazing. Like, it was epic. No, it was just fucking fun. Now, the story of Kratos, that was a good storytelling, and you were playing a story, which was fun.
Apparently, Kratos was originally gay. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they tried. That's what I'm saying. They tried to freaking, yeah. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, so I think I've exhausted everything I have to say about this particular topic. I thought more people would be in here getting fired up about it. But
the another thing is, just to close into kind of segue it to the comic medium.
Yeah.
It's why I said that it's called gamification. So it's one of the reasons that give the aspect, give the feel of to your reader that you're building something. So maybe not stress too much about delivering the best story, but at least make sure that you deliver something that builds upon itself, that they know you're building something. Hold on.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, I got the tech support for the internet here to change the installation.
Oh, okay. Right, man. So you gotta head out.
Yep.
Nice. Peace out, man. Thanks for being here, dude. I look
Sorry
forward to
about
your
that.
increased internet speeds. No, it's no problem. I guess we're gonna have a short show. I don't mind. I got shit to do.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
And
man.
I have better internet. So.
Oh, I'd like to. Can we hook up later? Maybe
Yep.
have a chat later. Yeah, if you're around.
Yeah.
Let's talk
That's,
some red label shit.
Yep. Just
Cool,
send me a message as soon as shouldn't be more than an hour.
All right.
Later.
Sounds good, man. See ya. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that was it. I'm playing Darksiders Genesis with my lady. We're enjoying the game, but the lack of a scoring system, right? Absolute trash. It's such an opportunity wasted to have an incredible scoring system. We would have kept. We would be playing those arenas all the time, trying to best our score and compete against other people all over the world. They didn't do it. They didn't bring it to the table. I have no idea why. Why you create something like a video game and not understand the basics 101 of the value in a great scoring system. It doesn't make sense to me, but I also understand this goes on in all mediums. Creators fail to deliver on the basics on a regular basis, and I think if you're someone who wants to create something, who wants to build an audience for something, you can really benefit from step back before you go full board and get overly ambitious on something. Step back and make sure you understand the 101 basics of why people will want what you're producing. And you got to deliver flawlessly on those basics. Get that down first. Once you have that foundation, and you have it right, then start, getting more ambitious, thinking about the bigger picture stuff. And I think that's about it. If you like the vid, please give it a thumbs up. Share it out if you can. And we will absolutely be back tomorrow with another Midday Repartee. I'm going to leave you today with this insanity. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Appreciate it.
Left maybe, 20. Easy right over brow, 50. Brow and flat left, 50. Flat right maybe, 100. Narrow flat right, 100. Brow and easy left, 200. Flat right, 50. Long easy right, 70. Easy right and absolute left, 150. Flat left, twisty 350. Flat left over brow, 100. Flat right maybe, 70. Flat left, 70. Absolute right, 150. Unseen easy right.